I think that maybe you couldn't hear me. Maybe I need help. I probably need help. Yes, I can be heard. This is good. All right, so I don't know what you missed, what you didn't miss. I'm making buses for things right now as the audio waveforms are brought in. So these are all my kicks. I create a bus for them. This way I can process the kick as one thing. I like my drums to be green. So that's what we're going to do. And then I like my buses to be blue, dark blue. So we got kick, we got snare, rack tom, floor tom, floor tom. Let's create a toms bus. I have a shortcut for that. Close room. This is probably drums. Seems like it's drums. So we'll put the overhead, close room, and the hat together. I have templates for this stuff, but a lot of times it's actually easier for me to just create the busing on a fresh session, just drag everything in and find it. And then I can make a bus for all of my drums. There we go. All drums. And a lot of times I like to make these all ones that color. Purplish. Purplish. Then what do we have here? Just press play. Okay, that's some sort of background. I make my background vocals pink generally. That's an acoustic guitar, obviously. That's a fiddle. Whoops, wrong one. That one. This one. All right, and then what do we got here? Another acoustic. And then, so let's put our acoustics together. And then what do we got here? Oh, fiddle, right? These are both fiddles. It's a pizzicato. What is this one? Okay, that's what I call a riser or a sound effect. And then what do we got here? That's another riser. I'm not really sure what that is. I guess it's labeled 12 string, but it's kind of a bass. I'll put it up here for now. I don't know what this is. This is the low end for the bass, right? Yeah. that's interesting. So let's make these the same color. Let's put them in the same bus. Base. Give it a darker blue so I can see the buses. I don't know, it automatically makes it the same color as the instruments, but I like to have my buses a different color because then I can see them more easily. This is a vocal, I think. I made it pink. Stairwell. We still haven't gotten our waveform for that, so let's just go. It'll still play, but it's easier if I can see the waveform. This is guitar fills. What do we got here? That's weird. Where's that coming from? There's a stairwell. So this is a far mic. I'm going to put it in with the rest of these, but I might give it its own bus. Oops. Alright. So then, what do we got here? This is like a panned guitar. Alright. Let's make these all the same color. And then, what is this one? Neck pick. Okay, these are doing the same thing. What is this one?
As long as they come from my.
Okay, that's kind of a. It's kind of a lead vocal, but I don't know yet. What is this?
A broken note inside my symphony.
Alright, another one.
These sad
Alright, these are all vocoders. So, until I know whether they're the lead vocal or not.
These sad goodbyes, as long as they come.
Alright, that's Steph. Give her red for now.
Just press play.
That's a harmony part or background of some sort. What do we got here?
For all the things I tried to but could never say.
I think this is so low, this track. I can add gain to it, so I can.
For all the things I tried.
I don't know whether that's a red or a pink, but we're gonna make it pink for now until we figure it out. What is this one?
Moment that we gave away. For all the things I tried to but could never say. If you ever start to think that you have lost your way,
One of these sounds like it was tuned. There's a lot of weirdness happening between those two. Let's see what we got here.
just press play.
Okay. So these are our vocals. This guitar.
And I find myself
So I'm not really sure how much of this double guitaring I'm going to keep. Probably not much of it. But we shall see. I'm going to put those two together. Acoustic guitar. Alright. Fiddle. Alright, let's give these a bus. Okay. What do we got here? Oh, these are my... I must have hit a button. It's always some button. That's a guitar. So we'll call these risers. Anything that makes like a or a anything like that. Any kind of sound effect like that, I'm going to call riser. I'm going to put together. If there's like coffee cups clinking, that's effects and risers. That goes under that kind of bussing. And believe it or not, it's like really common. That's as common almost as like a guitar to have stuff like that. All right, those guitars don't happen with those, so we'll keep them together. Okay. Make this blue. Now, the vocal. Just going to put all these in the same bus for now. I just want everything going to a bus. Okay. Now. All the buses now get bussed to 31. And that's going to be my all bus. The drums are already going to a drum bus. That one I've bussed to 31. 31. I can do this a little faster here. If I just go like this, collapse these buses. Now I can make these all bus 31. Still gotta uncollapse them, so don't save all that much. I should be able to do this in a button. There probably is a button to do this. And then this automatically makes a return when I make an aux or a bus. And this, I want this color. So now what this allows me to do is I can bring down my level to my stereo bus. So let me just bring that way down. All the faders are at unity right now. I just want to make it so that I'm not crushing my stereo output. So, you know, a lot of people worry about, they're like, oh, You want to start with the kick at minus 18, which is way the fuck down here. I guess they mean minus 18 on the meter, so let's just take a look. I'm still hotter than minus 18. And now, if I started with my kick drum at minus 18 and I set all of my other levels around that kick drum, I probably would be in a decent, I probably would have a decent amount of level going to stereo output without going out, without going over, apologies. So, like this fader here, then wouldn't be absolutely necessary. But, you know, a lot of times when we're mixing, stuff starts to ride higher and higher and higher over time, and then next thing you know, you're hitting the red on your stereo output. You really don't want to be bringing down your stereo output at all. You want to keep that at unity. So the best way to do it is to have an all bus, and then that all bus, you can always just bring it, oh, I'm a little hot, bring it down at the all bus, and then I'm doing good on my stereo output. I'm not going over. It's the only place that I can't go over is the stereo output. I can go over on everything else without distortion, without any clipping. Now I don't want to. I don't want to be over on everything, because when I make stems, then I gotta like put in gain plugins to bring them down. I gotta make sure I do everything's brought down the same amount. So, you know, I'd rather avoid that. So I guess the first thing I start with is drums here. I don't know how far I'm going to get into this today. I just kind of really want to figure out what I've got. I'm going to mute my mic for a second here. Okay, right from the start, I already know I'm going to want to put a sample in here. So, fortunately, Logic makes that very easy. Edit. Interesting. It's under track. I love when they change things. When they change things, they move things on Logic. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, they changed this. What the fuck? Oh, this was so easy before. Yeah, it still is. Replace or double drum track. I had to select that region. Okay. I thought they totally moved shit on me. So we can see here. Let's try this again without that in there. Replace or double drum track. I just want to see. These are pretty clean. These are the MIDI hits. I'm just making sure I don't have a shitload of mistriggers, or sometimes you could have snare drums that are like here. Right, so these are tom hits, but they're showing up there, so let's just... There, that got rid of them. This is like a threshold. So I want to make sure that we're not missing any. Can always add back in if we must. understand why this keeps coming out of solo. Right. So we've got another one, another hit there. There we go. I'll tell you, it's a lot easier to get rid of mishits than it is to add hits. So this thing has these hits that they're lined up perfectly, and I can adjust them if I feel like the sample is too early or too late, which I never do. So okay, that's cool. Let's do that. Make this the same color. And I'll convert this to an audio file once I've settled on a sample. So that's acoustic kick 1. Interesting. I'm adjusting the velocity now. So let's see. That's the sub. It's kind of high pitched. Doesn't do horrible things though. And these toms seem to already be stripped here. Okay, we're going to pan the toms. Pretty much going to pan them hard. At least for now. This tom here has a bit of junk in the 300-400 hertz range. It's a little distorted too, so I may match the other toms by distorting them. Let me see what these do. Okay, so those add a nice presence, but I don't want a lot of that. That's just too big for me to put in with the overheads. So I'm going to make a room mic, and right now I want to make sure this is in my drum bus 5. Okay, so now that's still in my drum bucket. Now let's see what we got here. I think that's probably the stairwell at Echo Mountain studio here in Asheville. I use that stairwell all the time, or I did when I was working out of there. I shouldn't say working out of there, when I was hiring that studio. That stairwell is like a reverb. It sounds amazing. That's a stairwell. It's all concrete. But I probably don't want a lot of reverb on these particular drums. So we'll put some there for now. And I think I'm going to... He does have a bit of ghosting, but I do think that I'd like to double track this snare. So we'll do the top one. Replace your double drum track. Select the snare. We're doubling. This just decides whether it's going to mute the original one or not. Just selecting random colors. So let's see what we got here. You know, if I make this MIDI file and then realize I'm missing hits, I can make it again. So don't have to be perfect about this. And if I have a section that's problematic, like let's say like the snares are all over the map as far as level is concerned, and it's not tracking for the MIDI notes, I can just do the one section and get the thresholds right for the one section and then just put that in there. So let's see what snare it's given us to start. I already heard problem in there. Let's just see what's going on. Yeah, see, that one doesn't go. So the slight variations in color is velocity. Sometimes I'll fix the velocity of something like this. Sometimes I won't. Let's just do it for now. Fixed velocity. Let's see. Yep, now it's fixed. That sounds pretty unnatural, but sometimes you just want to add a little bit. I'm usually much more likely to fix the velocity on the kick drum than I am the snare drum. And I'm still not sure whether I like that fixed velocity or not. I'm going to do that for now, though, because I think I just want a little more pop on it, but I don't want it like really obvious that there's a sample on there. And I really do not like this room. All right, let's go back to here. So the snare drum's kind of dynamic. Put a compressor on here. So like there's this ring in this snare drum, right? If you wanted to like get rid of this ring, then you want to make your release time way longer so that it's super compressed when the ring happens, and that makes the ring disappear. Check it out. But if I want to like accentuate the ring, then I might go with a much shorter release, like around 200 milliseconds. Check it out. And then the attack is what allows the transient through. If I make this 0, see, that's not very good because now we have no attack. The ring doesn't bother me, and I have a sample in there anyway, so the sample kind of brings down the ring. Let me just... Yeah, it's kind of anemic. See, now we got a little snap out of that snare, but we still have the ghosting too. And that's with the advantage of putting a fixed velocity on the sample and then bringing it way down to boost that snare hit only. And that compression helps. So let's add another compressor. And I kind of need more compression on that snare. Okay, and then I really want some compression on all the drums for sure. And that's my, let's try this Pro C2. You can see how it like really clamped down on the kick there. So let's just... So I'm going over on the bus. It does not matter, but I am going to bring it down anyway because I'm very early on in this and I might as well get the gain staging in a good place. So we're going to bring all this stuff down a bit. Here we go. So now, there's like this noise between these. This has obviously been edited. But I don't know whether I need to get rid of that or not yet. It might be a good idea too. But it might be cool too. So I kind of need to... Do I really want to do that to every one of those? Not right now, I don't. Interesting. All right, I'm just getting my bearings here. delete some. If the instrument's not playing, pretty much get rid of it, because otherwise Logic thinks it's reading audio, even if there's no audio there. And so this keeps my session lighter. I don't have to go too crazy on this session because it's really not that big. Let's see what we got here. And we are definitely going to have to clean this up. So I have this little function called strip silence. We can pull the right side over on all of the. You can see it's on all of them. Still more. I don't know what I just did, but I want to undo it. Okay, so of course I'm going to end up having to do these each individually. Okay, that's going to work for now. All right, and then let's strip silence this. Might be easier if we do this like this. All right. Okay, cool. Let's just take a listen to this song for a second. Normally this is actually the first thing I do, is just check out the mix or the rough. I shouldn't say normally. I don't always do that. Sometimes I don't really want to know. Sometimes I want to work for a little bit and then listen to what was done before I started messing with it. I definitely don't want to get in too deep before I check, because, you know, I've had situations where I start mixing something and then I check out the rough and it's like, well, shit, I don't know if there's anything that I have from this rough in my session. So, you know, those are the times you want to figure out what the fuck's going on. I don't have anything on the 2 bus, but I'm still going to put this on the output 3 and 4, because I will never have any kind of processing on 3 and 4, so I know that's a safe place.
I was an army once, a liar in lover's clothes, forced to be reckoned with. I was an angel once, cast out on broken wings, gave into everything. I don't mind these sad goodbyes, as long as they come from my friends. But every night it drives me wild, and I find myself back a temptress once, a painted face in the crowd, silently screaming out. And I was a hero once, beaming and standing proud, while the world was just crashing down. I don't mind these sad goodbyes as long as they come from my friends. But every night it drives me wild, and I find myself back here again. Every broken note inside my symphony, every line I wrote's a scar you cannot see. If I ever start to fade inside your memory, just press play, just press play. Every single moment that we gave away, for all the things I tried to but could never say. If you ever start to think that you have lost your way, just press play, just press play.
All right. So there's a lot going on with that. I think the vocals are way, way too loud. There's like no track, and we want to fix that. There's not a lot of low end. There's a lot of low end at the beginning. Let me just check this beginning again.
I was an army once, a liar in lover's clothes, forced to.
Oops a daisy. And these aren't lined up either, are they? Let's line them up. Unless that starts earlier. Doesn't even look like I have that intro, unless this is it, yeah. So let's move this to here. So I probably should figure out the tempo of this thing and set the tempo. Why don't I do that right now? Probably should have done that first, but I didn't. So it's not a big deal. It can be a big deal if you don't know what you're doing. First things first, BPM counter. All right, so it thinks it's around 95. With Logic, if the files are different sizes, then they're gonna change with the tempos. So I need to lock my regions. SMPTE lock. Lock SMPTE position. And then let's go to custom and give it a BPM of 95. That changes the size of our session dramatically. But does it put us at 1 or at 0 here? Okay, that seems right.
I was an army where love was close, forced to be let go.
This is going to be right on the... Oh, right. I gotta unlock empty position to move this.
I was an army once, a liar in love was.
Okay, cool. I just want it close. I'd like to have the mix close so I can just do quick reference back and forth. I don't really need to reference this mix much, other than to make sure I have all the instruments. Let's see what we got going on here. Something happened there. That was a mishit. I put the snares back on the fixed velocity. I realized I was talking without the mic on, so apologies. All right. So, the biggest thing that I wanted to figure out was whether I wanted to replace any of these guitars. As a mixer, I normally would never even think about fixing or replacing guitars. But, I produce these guys, so I have access to them. And if it makes sense to change a part or to fix a part or redo a part, then we can do that. I'm completely on the fence as to whether that's going to happen or not. I haven't even broached the subject with them yet. I could broach that subject and be like, "Oh no, man, I don't want to bother," which I would understand. So let's just see what we got here. Serious tuning issues with those. Well, with a lot of compression, it makes it kind of like a more of an ethereal thing. Unless the arpeggiations don't come through quite as much, it kind of helps with the tuning a bit too, because it pushes up those harmonics so much.
Somebody else's eyes, and I never made it.
Well, let's just take a look here. What happens if I quantize this?
We're in loveless clothes, forced to be welcome. I was an angel once, cast out on broken wings, gave into everything. I don't mind these sad goodbyes as long as they come from my friends. But every night it drives me wild and I find myself.
Right. So now this guitar, this electric guitar that I just quantized, and basically what that is it's called Flex Edit. It's time compression basically. And instead of me going in and moving these by hand, it's going in and putting these transients where they belong automatically. There's not a lot of swing on this part. It's pretty straight ahead. So I just set it for 16th note and it seems to be working really well. These are still human, semi. For all I know, these have been, well, that one's a little late. You know, we don't want it perfect necessarily, especially something like this. So, but that quantize worked great on that guitar. Like, that was really kind of a problem, and now it's not.
I was an angel once, cast out on broken wings, gave into everything. I don't mind these sad goodbyes as long as they come from my friends. But every night
I'm really missing a lot of presence on this vocal. There's a lot of low end too, which sometimes we want on female singers because they're in the higher registers, so the low end helps a lot.
forced to be reckoned with.
And I usually like to put an EQ ahead of my first compressor. Not always, but in this case I kind of do.
Forced to be reckoned with. I was an angel once, cast out on broken wings, gave into everything. I don't mind these sad goodbyes as long as they come from my friends. But every night it drives me wild and I find myself back here again.
Okay, so the first compressor we're going with a fast attack, fast release. Let's put another EQ in here. Don't know if I need it, but I'm going to put one there anyway so I have it. I'll put a compressor in here again. This is actually my favorite compressor in Logic. They have, you know, this one has, I don't even understand this one. That's the one that's default. And probably a lot of people use this one. I never use this compressor. It has no personality whatsoever. To be honest, not that all of these have a ton of personality, because they don't. Not compared to analog compressors, I don't feel. But here, let's listen to this one.
Forced to be reckoned with. I was an angel once, cast out on broken wings, gave into everything. I don't mind these sad goodbyes as long as they come from my friends. But every night it drives me wild and I find myself back here again, forced to be reckoned with. I was an angel once, cast out on broken wings.
Like that does not sound like an 1176 to me. I like these, you know, the stock compressors in Logic, but, you know, that looks like an 1176. It doesn't sound like one to me. I end up using this most of the time.
Forced to be reckoned with. I was an angel once, cast out on broken wings, gave into everything. I don't mind these sad goodbyes as long as they come from my friends. But every night
Normally I wouldn't try and make a vocal that present in the 1K range, but I may have to on this one.
I don't mind these sad goodbyes as long as they come from my friends. the crowd, silently screaming out. And I was a hero once, beaming and standing proud, while the world was just crashing down. I don't mind these sad goodbyes as long as they come from my friends. But every night it drives me wild, and I find myself back here again. Every broken note inside my symphony, every line I wrote's a scar you cannot see. If I ever start to fade inside your memory, just press play. Every broken note inside my symphony, every line I wrote's a scar you cannot see. If I ever start to fade inside that we gave away, for all the things I tried to but could never say. If you ever start to think that you have lost your way, just press play. I was a prophet once, high on a mountain top, until I looked at myself and I found that I was a devil once in somebody else's eyes, and I never made amends. I don't mind these sad goodbyes as long as they come from my friends. But every night it drives me wild, and I find myself back here again. Every broken note inside my symphony, every line I wrote's a every single moment that we gave away, for all the things I tried to but could never say. If you ever start to think that you have lost your way, just press play. Press play. I'm a symphony.
Every line I wrote's a scar you cannot see. If I ever start to fade inside your memory,
just press play.
I'm my symphony.
Every line I wrote's a scar you cannot see. If I ever start to fade inside your memory, just press play. Just press play. Every single moment that
That we gave away.
for all the things I tried to but could never say. If you ever start to think that you have lost your way, just press play. Just press play.
I don't mind these sad goodbyes
As long as they come from my friends. As long as they come from my friends. But every night it drives me wild, and I find myself back here again. Every broken note inside my symphony, every line I wrote's a scar you cannot see. was a prophet once, high on a mountain top, until I looked at myself and I felt.
Okay. So, I think we need to redo the bass. I think we need to redo the bass. I think we need to redo the vocal too. I mean, I can make this vocal work, but
Every broken note inside my symphony, every line I wrote's a scar you cannot see. If I ever start to fade inside your memory, just press play, press play. Every single moment that we give away, all the things I tried to but could never say. If you ever start to think that you have lost your way, just press play, just press play. I was a prophet once, high on a mountain top, until I looked at myself and I found.
damn. All right, let me try that all again. So, this is a unique situation because I've produced this band, so I have a relationship with them as a producer. And I did not know where this track was at. I don't know where any of these tracks from the albums that they did before me, where they're at. I kind of suspected that they'd be in rough shape. My dilemma is, do I really want to go backwards with these guys? I thought maybe I could make a pretty easy improvement on the mix. But you know, that mix that they have, is the vocals really, really super loud, which now makes a lot of sense because there's a lot of problems with the track. So I can tell you I'd want to redo the bass for sure. You know, they have this 12 string thing that I think is like supposed to give top end to the bass. You know, this track might have been done before they even had a bass player. So, you know, as with most bands, this has been an evolution. And so I also feel like I would want to add a keyboard part to this thing for lift. I don't need to redo this guitar anymore because this flex time quantization really worked great. Not really. Feel like the vocal could be better. Some of the harmonies are a little suspect.
I don't mind these sad goodbyes as long as they come from my friends.
They're not too suspect. I don't think I'd want to redo any of them. Let me just see here.
I don't mind these sad goodbyes.
Let me give this a little bit of quick love here.
I don't mind these sad goodbyes as long as they come from my friends. Every night drives me wild and I find myself back here again. Every broken note inside my symphony. Every line I wrote's a scar you cannot see. If I ever start to fade inside your memory, just press play, press play.
And those tuning issues really, really, really rear their ugly head right about there.
Every single note. All the things I tried. If you ever start to think that you have lost your way, just press play, press play. Back to back again.
Okay, there's where the quantization kind of falls off. So I'd have to fix these by hand.
I was a prophet once, high on a mountaintop.
All right. Bass needs to be redone for sure. Some of these guitars need to be redone. The vocal very well needs to be redone. And I'm not sure that I wanted to get into completely reproducing this thing. In fact, I really know that I don't. So I need to make some decisions. Does it make more sense to leave the record as it was, as they did it, as a snapshot in time? Probably. I have other tracks that I can look at. Let's see. We'll call this Just Press Play. How about that? I'm going to put my initials on there so that I can find it later. Okay, so at the moment I don't have a lot of clarity for you on this. I need to make some decisions. I need to talk to Robbie and the band a little bit and see just how much energy people have to be going backwards. I'm really generally against going backwards, but sometimes, not always. Like if I met a very young band that had songs that were like really great, but nobody's ever really heard of them, but like a label wanted to get involved with, then yeah, I want to go and get some of their older material, their best material, and make a new album out of it. But, then you're recutting the stuff anyway. This, I'm just trying to bring this stuff up to snuff with their newer stuff, but maybe their old stuff just needs to not be as polished as what we've done together. Very difficult to say at the moment. So I'm going to save this and I'm going to think about this for a little bit. I'm going to talk to the band and then I'll be back for another stream. When I get the right track that's just a mix, for sure, just a mix, then I'll do that too. But that's it for this stream for now, until I figure out what the best plan of attack is. All right. So thanks for joining me. Let me know if you have any questions. Actually, why don't I check and see if there's any questions now? Look at that. I'm like a fucking professional streamer. That's what that is. That's professional streaming right there. Let me read the comments. Let me see what somebody has to say. Probably nobody said anything. Lost audio. Huh. All right, I don't know. I'll check it out. We'll see where it's at. Okay, thanks for joining my stream.